Africa is a sovereign state. We are not a satellite state of the USA. We are a sovereign state that must be respected by all.
We've seen that actually many countries, especially in Europe and in the East, have come with retaliatory tariffs against the US. We decided we should take a different approach for now. We want to engage the Trump administration. In fact, even before this issue of tariffs, the president was going to send a delegation to the U.S.
Because we know the U.S. wants to interfere in domestic affairs of South Africa by rescinding laws, by demanding that President Ramaphosa rescinds laws that have already been passed and signed into law in South Africa. That's what it is. It's a power struggle and for America to assert his authority on our soil. And we must refuse it and we reject it as the economic freedom fighters.
How do you to the U.S. because you'll recall that there are some people who went to the U.S., I think AfriForum and Solidarity, and said, we are doing bad things in this country. They convinced President Trump, South Africa is doing very bad things out there. So we wanted to send a delegation then, but the issue of tariffs came. So we have agreed. The president said, look, let's not rush, let's engage.
I'll start.
This started when Trump issued the first executive orders against South Africa. When in his orders, he says that he wants South Africa to reverse the Bella Bill, which is the basic education bill. He wanted South Africa to reverse the National Health Insurance Bill, which seeks to redress injustices of the past when it comes to providing healthcare to the people of South Africa. The executive order also said that there must be reversal of the expropriation bill, which seeks to address injustices of the past in terms of land dispossession that happened during apartheid and colonialism in South Africa. And then he fed us
to the land. And therefore, when you fight for the land, you must never act confused. You must know that you belong here. This is your home. You don't have two passports. You don't have two homes. This is the only home you know. Fighters, this fight was starting. It was not started by us. A lot of fights were fought because our people were refusing with their land.
He then used what the revolutionary stance of our ambassador, former ambassador, Mr. Ibrahim Rasool, to expel and cut all diplomatic ties with South Africa. At this point at which he's going, it's clearly, you can clearly see that Donald Trump has no intentions, none whatsoever, to mend the diplomatic relations with South Africa unless we are willing to kiss our sovereignty goodbye and bow down to him and implement all the decisions that will be taken on behalf of South Africa by a man sitting in Washington, D.C. in the White House. We must never allow it as a country. It's not.
Started from 1652 when they came and stole everything from us. They even stole the cattle. So when we said we want our land with the wealth of this land, we were in the main referring to our own cattle, goats and sheep that they stole from our parents. We want all of those things returned to the rightful owners. Comrades, economic freedom fighters is at the center and championing the struggle for the return of the land. We
were not surprised. Trump himself is a right-wing extremist, just like Mr. Pozelle that he is now nominated to come and be an ambassador here in South Africa. So we know Pozelle for what he is. He's going to use this platform to undermine our sovereignty and to try to bring right-wing extremists of South Africa, the likes of AfriForum and Solidarity, to consolidate their position in undermining our sovereignty. So if he's allowed, this man, I can tell you for free, he's coming here to cause war, to cause havoc in our country. And as opposition parties in parliament, like the EFF, we're not going to allow it. In fact, we're telling Mr. Pozelle that he's not welcome in South Africa. He must not dare come and set his foot here. He must remain in America. He must not come on our soil because he's coming here to undermine us. and we are not going to allow it. And we want to ask the city of Johannesburg to expedite the process of renaming Sentin Drive into Leila Khalid Street. That should happen quickly, and America closes their consulate office in Johannesburg like they've threatened to. Let's see if they're going to close it.